Hello business owner. Are you as confused as I was about e-commerce and shopping carts and how to make it all work on your website? Well, I eventually figured it all out and have since gotten pretty good at explaining it to others. After watching this video, you'll have a very clear understanding of it too. Hi, I'm Nate Woodbury with Wallaby Web Design, and I'm excited to help you out here. You wouldn't think that there were this many steps required to make a sale on your website, but unfortunately that's the case. After I explain this, I'll share a few shortcuts that make all of this a bit easier. Your goal is to have someone visit your website and have them purchase a product, service, or event, and have that money deposited into your bank account. Let's assume you already have steps 1 and 6 taken care of. Our next step is to add a shopping cart to your website. All this means is you're adding the functionality for someone to buy one or more items on your website. There will now be an Add to Cart, a Buy Now, or Register Here button. In other words, before the shopping cart, you could display your product, list its price, and let them know how to contact you if they wanted to buy. But by adding a shopping cart, now they can click a purchase button right there on your website and input their billing information. The next step is SSL certificate. This is what encrypts personal data and makes it safe for your customers to provide you their credit card numbers. Setting up an SSL certificate is actually quite complicated, but that's one of the shortcuts I'm going to discuss in a minute. So at this point, you just want to know that the SSL certificate is to make everything secure. Okay, the next step, the payment gateway. This is the service that will take your customer's credit card info and pull funds from it. This is where their card will either be approved for the purchase or declined. For security, only qualified companies are given this access, and that's what a payment gateway is for. Once the purchase has been approved and the funds are withdrawn from the card, they need to be placed into your merchant account. This is a special account for business owners for the purpose of receiving funds like this. And after a couple of days, those funds can be transferred to your bank account. Okay, those are the steps. 1, someone comes to your website and they find a product they want to purchase. 2, they click on that product's purchase link and enter their billing information. 3, their information is encrypted. And 4, sent to the payment gateway where their card is processed. Once approved, the funds are deposited into your merchant account and later transferred to your business bank account. Alright, here are the shortcuts. Many shopping carts out there take care of the SSL certificate for you, and in a moment I'm going to share the pros and cons of several shopping carts for you, but that's an important feature. You should never pay for and have to go through all the hassle of setting up an SSL certificate yourself. If you ever find yourself needing one, you'll need to choose a better shopping cart. Another shortcut is that many payment gateway services will set up the merchant account for you. This is quite helpful and I recommend it. The main thing to consider when choosing a payment gateway and merchant is ease of use and low fees. If you don't know someone locally, then let me know and I can refer someone to you. Now, before I jump into a comparison of shopping carts, let me give a quick plug for PayPal. In a moment, I'll share some of the disadvantages of using PayPal as your shopping cart, but for beginners, I recommend it all the time because guess what? PayPal takes care of steps 2, 3, 4, and 5 for you, and it's all free. All you pay is the transaction cost. Alright, with that said, let's jump in. Alright, what we are looking at here is a comparison of my favorite and preferred 3 shopping carts. I use and recommend PayPal, ProCart, and Infusionsoft, and then comparing them to a couple of broad categories. So VirtueMart, ZenCart, those type shopping carts are used quite commonly in WordPress and Joomla. You embed them into your website, and they're typically free or inexpensive. The disadvantages to those are they're very, very cumbersome and intrusive. They're difficult to get set up. They are full featured though, and they are free. And then the other type of service or shopping cart is BigCommerce or Shopify. There's a lot of carts like that will have a monthly cost. It's a service, and they are full featured. They're a lot simpler to use. The great disadvantages to those is typically custom website design is not possible. You do not own the website itself, and so you just have to, any decisions they make about it, you actually don't own it. You can't back it up and store it yourself. And so that's what we're talking about here, ownership of the website. As well as SEO is virtually impossible on these type websites. So if this is your your marketing website and you want to do marketing to it, you're really limited there. You can't do any type of marketing in that regard. Okay, with that introduction, I'm first going to talk about PayPal and the pros and cons of PayPal. Then I'll talk about the pros and cons of Infusionsoft, and I'll finish by talking about the pros and cons of ProCart. Now typically, I guess one more thing to introduce, I recommend beginners start with PayPal, and then as soon as they can, upgrade to procart.org. And then only when they get to a certain point in their business do I recommend that they upgrade to Infusionsoft. Now Infusionsoft is extremely powerful. It's an amazing tool. It's amazing what you can do with it, but the costs are pretty prohibitive and it is difficult. It's difficult to use. You might want to consider hiring your own full-time team member to manage Infusionsoft for you. And so you'll know when the time is right. We'll talk about some more of those things there about what the advantages of Infusionsoft are. But let me start over here with PayPal. All right, the great advantage to PayPal is it's simple, it's easy to use, there's no setup fees, there's no monthly costs, and that includes monthly costs for the merchant account and the payment gateway. It's simply just free. The only cost that you have as a repeat is you simply pay a per transaction cost that is roughly 3%. You can integrate it with any website so it's not intrusive. You can use one PayPal account on multiple websites. They include the SSL certificates. You can't email a PayPal product. We'll talk about that more with ProCart. But it is easy to use, and because it's not intrusive on your website, you can do SEO on your website no problem. You still own it. It's limited on features, and that's all it is. It's the shopping cart there. It doesn't have the autoresponder or the affiliate software. All right, now to talk about Infusionsoft. If these are their standard fees, you can get discounts, and so talk to me if you are looking into Infusionsoft. Sometimes I can get a discount on the setup fee and a little bit of a reduction on the monthly fee, but they are still pretty high. Okay, it is difficult to set up and use. Now we do have a service for helping you with all of these there, but if you're looking to reduce your funds and bootstrap your business, as I recommend, then you definitely don't want to start with Infusionsoft, but set a goal for that down the road. But it's not intrusive on your website. You'll still be able to do full SEO. You'll still remain the owner of your website. In fact, you can use this shopping cart with Infusionsoft on multiple websites, so there's no limit there. They include the SSL certificates. You can email products. All the other features are a plus. Now, with that introduction to both PayPal and Infusionsoft, in fact, let me say one more thing about Infusionsoft. Here's the big advantage is when you have a person come in, and this is really going to be a discussion about their autoresponder. The whole goal of internet marketing is building a list. And I guess the end goal is making sales or having purchases online. But the entire way you do that is through building a list. If you're not going to use an autoresponder and build a list, then you probably shouldn't even worry about internet marketing. And I know that that's bold to say it that way, but that's the truth of it. You need to have an autoresponder and you need to build a list. So PayPal doesn't have an autoresponder. In the beginning, you can start with something like Aweber or MailChimp or iContact or Constant Contact. We can help you with all of those. ProCart has an autoresponder built in, and that is very valuable. That's a big plus for ProCart. Now, Infusionsoft, that's kind of their main feature. Their autoresponder is the best on the planet, but it's difficult to use. It's hard to set up. I keep repeating that. But here's the key, okay? Somebody comes to your website, they opt in, and now they're on your list. Then later, they visit another page of your website or watch a different video or something. Every action they take, they can get tagged. And so you can micro-segment your list and really hone in and have a special marketing campaign to each person. Now that's within Infusionsoft. You can do similar things to that within ProCart. It's not quite as complex, but it's also not quite as difficult to set up. And really you should only worry about that with Infusionsoft when you have a multi-thousand person list. If you only have 2,000 or 3,000 lists or less than that,
go with ProCart, you'll be fine, and you'll know when it's right to make the move and jump up to Infusionsoft and pay these hefty fees. Now, in other videos, I've actually made several tutorials for PayPal, for ProCart, for Infusionsoft, and I'll show you how to set up all of these things. But let me just go through and discuss it. It's procart.org, no setup fee, it's a low monthly cost, and it's perfect for custom website design. I mean, I started out in the custom website design business, and so when I researched all these other shopping carts, it just was impossible to do custom website design with them, except for with these three copy and paste shopping carts, as I like to call them, because they can't be intrusive on the website. That you don't want it to slow it down, you don't want it to be cumbersome and conflict with the website code. And it's also nice that you can use one shopping cart to set one up and yet sell things on multiple websites. I notice there's a spelling error there that I'll have to fix in this diagram. But there's unlimited number of websites you can set up ProCart on. They include the SSL certificate. And another comment I'd like to make, and that goes for all of the ones here that say included, is they have high-end SSL certificates. If you go with a VirtueMart or a ZenCart where they don't include the SSL certificate and you have to buy it yourself, it's extremely expensive, or you're just going to get a budget rate SSL certificate. So you can get one for $100 a year, but the ones that you're going to get in all of these other shopping carts, they're typically paying several $1,000s a month. It's really, really high-end security, high-end encryption, and that's the kind that you want. And so it's just going to be really cost prohibitive if you're trying to save money by going with a free shopping cart and then going with a budget rate SSL certificate that's a pain in the neck to set up anyway. Yeah, just you never want to go this route. So I show that there. That's a big part of the reason there. Okay, this part here, sending products via email. That is so cool. So you can send an email to somebody, and right within the email you can have a purchase link. So it's not a link that then takes them to a purchase page on your website, and then they then have to add it to their shopping cart or click buy now. But just by clicking a link in the email, they can add it to their cart and go to the purchase page. So that is a very cool feature. It's very easy to use. It's SEO friendly. That's very key. I'm I guess I'm referred to a couple things. I'm referred to as the SEO ninja, and I'm referred to as the master of magnetic marketing. So all these things are very, very important that it's SEO friendly. So that's another reason why both of these categories of shopping carts are just out of the question. You need to maintain ownership of your website. Very, very critical. There's no reason why anyone should ever be in control of it, because if something goes wrong, they decide to shut you down or freeze your account, you're kind of up a creek. You need to be the owner of that website. Obviously, in the beginning, it's okay to have limited features, but to have more features, the more things you want to do, and that's important. And then the autoresponder, having that integrated with your shopping cart is pretty handy. So in the early days, if you want to start out with PayPal and you want to use an inexpensive autoresponder such as Aweber, you can go ahead and use those to begin with, but then set a date for ProCart when you're going to upgrade to ProCart. And then you'll have, you'll want to really generate momentum with that. And then down the road, you'll be able to then upgrade once and for all to Infusionsoft. Last one I want to talk about is affiliate software. This is if you want to offer your products and services or events for other people to promote and receive an affiliate commission. ProCart and Infusionsoft have it built in, and then some of these shopping carts over here have it built in as well. Most of the time it's no, and maybe we should put here the word maybe. Okay, so maybe appears there, but definitely in ProCart and Infusionsoft, you can track where those referrals come from and who deserves to get paid those affiliate commissions. So the main reasons I recommend ProCart.org is because of cost and because of ease of use. It's an amazing shopping cart. I consider it to be the best shopping cart on the planet, and it's very inexpensive and easy to use. Infusionsoft is a very good shopping cart, and it's the best autoresponder on the planet. With that said, I will say that ProCart.org, I believe it to be the second best autoresponder on the planet. And the reason down the road that you will want to upgrade to Infusionsoft once you get a massive list and you're ready for it, I'll just say it that way, then it will be worth the extra cost and for switching that shopping cart. But in the meantime, you'll be happy for years with procart.org as your shopping cart and as your autoresponder. If you want to look at this chart further, just scroll down on the website, or if you're watching this video on YouTube, look down below, you'll see a link, and I'll have this chart on the page for you to look at.
It's okay to start with PayPal. I actually recommend PayPal quite often to my clients. If you choose to begin with PayPal, then I have one challenge to extend to you. Set a date right now for when you'll upgrade to ProCart. Then, when you have a date set, determine exactly what needs to happen between now and then for that to actually happen. Make sure you run your business like a business and not as a side hobby. For those of you considering Infusionsoft, my general recommendation is that you hold off just a bit. You'll know when the time is right to make the jump. Don't get me wrong, Infusionsoft is where all the big players are, but if your list size is only a couple thousand, or if you've only dabbled with an autoresponder before, then a jump to Infusionsoft right now will be a bit premature. Use procart.org like I train you, and then when you develop momentum, I'll train you how to use Infusionsoft. Now, I have a free gift for you. Many know me as the guru of magnetic marketing for experts. I teach a course on how experts can pull in magnetic traffic and get thousands of new opt-ins every month on their website, all on autopilot. When you fill out the form on this page, I'll give you access to this course for free. If you already receive emails from me, just fill out the form with the same email address you used last time, and I'll send you Magnetic Marketing course for free.